Hello and welcome to Newsform. I'm your host, Chris with the CHRILLCAST. And today I want to remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to talk about some good stuff. DRM strikes again. Don Matrick. Just kidding, it's not Don Matrick this time, but I love bringing up his name when it comes to DRM because, you know, his Xbox One policies were what's basically happening now. Okay, look. DRM strikes again. Ubisoft makes its own game unplayable by shutting down its DRM server. Like... What? This is like the definition of the WTF meme. Like, I bought this. What's going on here? All right, anyways, long story short. Ubisoft decided to remove the DRM server, shutting it down, and now this game is essentially unplayable. And on top of that, now, instead of fixing this issue by removing DRM or whatever they were going to do, Ubisoft decided, let's just remove it from Steam and pretend like this game doesn't exist. Don't buy Ubisoft products. Ubisoft has become one of the most anti-consumer companies out there. So let's get into it. So it's not exactly a secret that we've been very anti-DRM here at TechDirt for some time. Shout out to TechDirt for this article. Really good stuff. DRM is shown time after time to be of almost no hindrance whatsoever for those seeking to pirate video games. Right, see? But has done an excellent job of hindering those who actually bought the game and playing what they've bought. Ubisoft, in particular, has had issues with this over the years, with DRM servers failing and preventing customers from playing the games that no longer ping the DRM server. And while those instances involved unforeseen downtime or migrations impacting customers' ability to play their games, this time it turns out that Ubisoft simply stopped supporting the DRM server for Might and Magic X Legacy, and now basically everyone is screwed. Last month, Ubisoft decided to end online support for a bunch of older games, but in doing so, also brought down the DRM servers for Might and Magic X. Legacy, meaning players couldn't access... Might and Magic X Legacy, meaning players couldn't access the game's single-player content or DLC. You can't even do single-player content. Like, my goodness. As Eurogamer reports, fans were not happy having to cobble together an unofficial workaround to be able to continue playing past a certain point in the single-player. But instead of Ubisoft taking the intervening weeks to release something official to fix this, or reversing their original move to shut down the game's DRM servers, they decided to do something else. They have simply removed the game for sale on Steam. They just said, alright, you guys are mad? Okay. Let's take this game down. This, of course, does nothing for the people who already bought the game, and now suddenly cannot progress through it completely as all the DLC is non-functional. They can play the game up until a point, but then it just won't work. There are multiple bad actions on Ubisoft's part here. First, using DRM like this is a terrible idea with almost no good consequences. But once it's in use, you would think it would be the obligation of the company to ensure any changes it makes on its end don't suddenly render the purchases made by its customers unplayable. In other words, rather than ending support for a DRM server that nixes parts of a paid-for game, company could have rolled out patches to remove the DRM completely so that none of this happened. After all, with the game no longer even available as a new purchase, what would be the harm of removing the DRM? And of course, there's the total lack of communication to Ubisoft customers about basically all of this, which is what has people so understandably pissed. Players are now understandably pissed, taking the game's Steam reviews to leave messages like, "Doesn't work anymore. Ubisoft refuses to fix the game. Pathetic. Ubisoft took my money and then shut it down. This is theft, and if Steam and the relevant governments are fine about it, it's legal theft. I will never purchase anything from Ubisoft anymore on principle, even if they decide to try and do something about this mess." All because Ubisoft cannot imagine a world where the DRM it's using could just go away, leading to happier paying customers. And there's been many studies, I can tell you, I've seen them, where they decided to delve into people who are pirating games versus people who are purchasing games. And DRM has no impact at all. People that want to buy a game, don't care if there's DRM there, they'll still buy it. But people who want to pirate the game, they'll get around the DRM anyway. There's absolutely no DRM out there that has not been found to be worked around. And people who are willing to wait for the workaround and or pirate games aren't going to buy it anyways. So the only people that DRM punishes are the paying customers, not the pirates. DRM in this instance is only bad. It's only bad. The only time DRM makes sense is for and it's not even DRM, it's more like anti-cheat software, is to prevent cheating in online games. And Call of Duty can't even figure that out, but that's not Ubisoft. That's a whole different ballgame. Ubisoft, this is trash. This is about as bad as it gets when it comes to supporting the game, people who have bought your game. So I will end with this. Until Ubisoft fixes this, do not buy Ubisoft games. You know, hold out. Vote with your wallet. Don't give Ubisoft your money while they're willing to do things like this. Anyways, that's my opinion. You don't have to follow it. Do whatever you want with your own money. I won't judge. As always, I'm Chris, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.